This is a brand new 11th edition Orc. I've got one months before they've even been released. So I'm going to take you through painting them so that when they do get released, you'll be ready to get going. So without any further ado, let's get painting. The first thing I've done is primed the model using Mechanicus standard grey spray. This is because it's going to make it a little bit easier in terms of the paint coverage moving forward. And the first thing I'm going to do is base all of the flesh. Now I'm doing this with a 50-50 mix of Orruk Flesh and Waagh Flesh. That's just to give me a nice solid coverage before I start to really build up the colour. Now you might be asking yourself, how have I got hold of an 11th edition Orc ahead of time? Well, I was very fortunate to be at Adepticon this year, and at the end of the preview show, Games Workshop gave us an Orc and one of the new intercessors. So I thought, why not get a head start on the crowd so that you're ready, I'm ready, everyone's ready for the fantastic looking orcs that are coming out. When that was dry, I then took a layer of pure Orruk flesh and based all of the skin again, making sure that I got nice even coverage. Now I did thin it down a bit, so I did need two coats, but this just helps give a nice vibrant base. We won't do the flesh to start with, we'll do that later on, but I think it's really important to get the green colour down now because it does make it easier to finish everything else later on. Next, it was time to paint the silver, and I used a little bit of lead belcher for this. I did use an old brush as well because I didn't want to spoil my new ones, and I just painted all the bits that I wanted to be silver. Now, it's really painter's choice here. You can really paint all the metallic in silver, or you can paint some of them, but essentially what we're looking to do is get nice even coverage across the model. To add some variation, I use some Balthazar gold. Now, this is purely optional. You don't have to do this. I just think it's nice to have different color metallics across the model. And this gives you a really nice brassy effect once it's all done, washed, colored, and highlighted, etc. I tend not to use actual gold colors too much on orcs, certainly not the normal boy like this. But for some of the war bosses, it can be a good choice. Next up, I painted all of the leather straps, and the colour I used for this is Dryad Bark. Now, this is a nice desaturated dark brown colour, and I wanted to make sure that I got everything leather with this. One thing I'm going to say is that actually all the colours I'm using in this model, you can use them in different combinations across models to just give a little bit of differentiation across them as well. So you can perhaps have grey leather, you can perhaps have black leather. There's lots of different options. I'm just showing you some basics. Once I had all that done, I then took some Nuln Oil and washed everything that I've just painted apart from the flesh. So we've got the silver, we've got the Balthazar gold, we've got the leather, and we've got the Mechanicus standard grey on the vest as well. And I'm going to leave it that colour because I want the vest to be grey. Looking at the artwork, there's lots of different colours, but again, like I just said, you can use these colours in any combination across your orcs. When that was completely dry, I then took some Agrax Earthshade and I used this only across the silver areas. Now, the reason for this is just to give that metallic a bit more of a dirty look. These orc weapons are crude, they're oily, they're dirty, so just adding this on there gives you a really nice effect without having to make too much effort. When you come to highlight it in a little bit, that's going to pick out all the sharp edges, and this just gives you some really nice colour variation. When all those washes are dry, let's start the highlighting process. I'm going to start off with Mechanicus Standard Grey. So we're going to focus this on the vest. And what we're looking to do is catch the raised areas, leaving those darker colours in the recesses. Now, this is a nice straightforward step. Mechanicus Standard Grey covers really nicely. Just make sure you haven't got too much on your brush and that you are taking your time and not spilling it in those recesses. The last highlight we'll do is going to be with a 50-50 mix of Administratum Grey and Mechanicus Standard Grey. Now, the Administratum Grey is a little bit too bright on its own, so just toning it down a little bit really helps. And what we're looking to do here is paint this inside the Mechanicus Standard Grey from the last step, making sure that we're focusing only on the raised areas. Now, there's going to be some parts here you can drag the brush as well to get a really nice crisp highlight, and this will give you a nice grey vest. Next up, it's time for the leather, and the first highlight is that base colour of Dryad Bark. Now, we want to be very careful here to leave the darker shade in all the recesses. Where we've got some nice sharp edges on the model, we can drag our brush across them. The other thing we can do on some of the leather straps to really build up some texture is we can paint lots of little lines at a 90-degree angle to the leather. So essentially we're going to paint horizontal lines as we go down the leather straps itself, and that just gives you some nice texture. The final highlight on all the leather is with Gawthor Brown. And again, what we're aiming to do here is keep that inside the dried bark from the last step. So drag your brush where you can to get those nice crisp edges. And again, we're going to paint it inside all the detail we've already put on there, just by putting some little short strokes of, like, again, 90-degree angle to the leather straps. And that's just going to build up the texture and make the leather look worn. Moving to all the Balthazar gold areas, we'll just put one highlight across here, and that colour is going to be with Sycorax bronze. Generally, what we're looking to do is just catch the parts that are facing upwards. We want to drag our brush across these areas where we can, because that's going to give us a nice crisp highlight. Last bit of metallic highlight we'll do is with Chrome from Vallejo Model Air. Now, if you haven't got this, you can use something like Runefang Steels from Citadel's, absolutely fine. Generally, again, what we're looking to do is drag our brush across all the sharp edges, and that gives you really, really nice, crisp highlights. We've got quite a few angles, particularly on that very big chopper the Orc's got across his head. So we just want to very carefully add in some of these lines. And again, we've got lots of battered metal here. So we just want to put lots of little sharp lines like we did across that leather, down towards the join, down towards the face of that big chopper. And again, that's going to give us the illusion of a really crude battered weapon that's got lots of nice sharp edges on it as well. Moving on to the trousers, I'm going to paint these in brown, but I'm going to paint them a different brown to how we painted all the leather. This is going to be a much lighter, reddy brown. You really will be able to see the difference once this is finished. So to base all of the trousers, we're going to take some Rhinox hide. Like I said, this is a nice dark reddy brown. Just take your time. Make sure you've got nice even coverage across everything. Try not to spill it on bits we've already finished, and try not to spill it around the wraps that we've got around the legs as well. That's just to make the next stage a little easier. We'll highlight all the trousers using some Doom Bull Brown. Now, don't worry too much about a wash for this. We don't need a wash. We're just going to make sure that the Rhinox hide is the darkest colour. So leave that in all the recesses and paint the majority of the trousers with the Doom Bull Brown. Again, you really start to see the reddy brown colour coming out here, and you'll start to really see the differentiation with the leather that we've done elsewhere. Now, there's nothing to say that you can't use this technique for leather and the Dryad Bark on the pants or the Mechanicus Grey on the pants. Like I said, I'm giving you a color palette here. You can use them in any combo you want across your Orcs, and you'll get a really, really nice looking force. The last thing we'll do across the trousers is highlight them using some Scrag Brown. Now, this is a very bright orange reddy brown, so just use this fairly sparingly. It doesn't cover particularly well, so it will dry and blend into the trousers underneath, but that's a really, really good property of the paint because it just gives you some subtle highlights without having to worry about how heavy you're applying the paint. Next up, we'll paint all of the strapping across the Orc, and for that, I'm going to use some Waagh Flesh. Now, this is an okay colour, and I'm not massively enthusiastic about it because it's not the easiest colour in the world to use, but it does give you a nice effect. So again, I'm just basing these areas using the Waagh Flesh, being very careful not to spill it on anything that I've already finished. And I realized actually that the wraps that are holding the forearm guards on, they're actually leather. So I went back and repainted them. For the bits that are Waagh Flesh, I just washed all of that using some Agrax Earthshade, making sure that it didn't settle too heavily into all of the recesses. Once that Agrax Earthshade was dry, I went back in with some Waagh Flesh and just highlighted up all these areas. Now, this is again a fairly easy and straightforward step. You just want to leave the Agrax Earthshade in all of the recesses. And just take your time here, making sure you get some nice coverage, because the Waagh Flesh, it can be hit or miss in terms of how it does cover. But again, just be careful how you apply this. The last thing we'll do on all the wraps is take some Pallid Witch Flesh. Now, this also goes into the category of not a particularly good paint, but it does give us the colour we want. So what we want to do with this is, again, drag it across those edges where we can to get nice crisp highlights, catch all those raised edges, and again, it's just going to give us a really nice bit of illumination and brightness across this model. Next up, we'll paint all of the black areas. I'm going to base all of these with Abaddon Black. You can use whatever black you want. If you want to use something like AK Black, that's absolutely fine. The reason I haven't used that here is because I'm going to do a mix for the first highlight. And if I used AK Black, it's really overpowering, really difficult to mix anything in with it, which is why I went for the Abaddon. In terms of things I'm painting the boots, I'm painting some casing on the weapons, and I'm painting that shoulder pad. The first highlight is a 50-50 mix of Mechanicus Standard Grey and that Abaddon Black. And all I'm doing with this is dragging my brush across the model to get those nice, crisp, sharp edges, highlighting general areas on the boots as well. You don't need to go too overboard with this. Just make sure that you've got nice, crisp highlights. To finish the black highlights, I took some pure Mechanicus standard grey and just aim to paint this inside the previous layer. So that's nice and easy and straightforward. It's not too heavy. I didn't bother with this too much across the boots, but I certainly did put it on the weapon casing and that shoulder pad as well. Now it's time to paint the flesh. If you need to, go back with Orruk Flesh and fix any mistakes you've already made. We're then going to give it a soft shade of Biel Tan Green. And what I've done is I've mixed the Biel Tan Green with a little bit of contrast medium. Now, I got the old style Biel Tan Green, so I've done a 50-50 mix. But if you've got the newer Biel Tan Green, just a little bit of contrast medium should be fine. I'm going to paint this all over the green flesh, and straight away you'll start to see the vibrancy boosting, but also you'll start to see it going into those recesses as well, so you've got a little bit of shading. When that's completely dry, take a little bit of Coelia green shade. Again, I've mixed a little bit of contrast medium in mine, but you might not need to. And I'm doing this more as a direct shade into the deepest recesses. So this isn't across the whole flesh, it's just in the deepest recesses. So you need a good tip on your brush for this. And again, I'm painting it into things like the gaps between the fingers, where you've got material and flesh meeting, where you've got really deep recesses, such as in between some of the musculature, particular in some of the shadow areas as well. And again, put this on sparingly at first. You can always add more if you need to. You'll really start to see the depth coming out now on the flesh. When that's completely dry, go back in with Orruk Flesh and start to highlight up all of the areas on the Orruk Flesh. Really focus on the musculature, particularly things like the fingers, on the hands. There's lots and lots of edges that you can catch by dragging your brush. All you're looking to do is leave those washes in the recesses so that you've got that nice color differentiation. So you're probably going to paint about 90% of the orc again with the Orruk Flesh. It's just a really, really nice way of starting to boost it, and make sure that the orc doesn't go too far to the yellow side. It still reads as green. The next highlight is with Ogryn Camo, and this is where we really start to refine this highlight. So we're focusing on things like the fingers, the most prominent parts of the musculature, like that shoulder on the right arm, for example, and across the face. Now, there's a lot of expression on the face, which means there's a lot of texture that's really nice and easy for us to just dab some of this Ogryn Camo on and really bring this model to life. The last highlight on the flesh is going to be with Krieg Khaki. Now, again, it's important to emphasize we get this inside the Ogryn Camo from the last step. This is really kind of a yellowy, greeny color, so we do want to use it fairly sparingly, but it is just going to give us that boost in terms of the highlights that really, really help bring this flesh alive. Like I said, use it sparingly. You can always add more later on if you need to. To paint any nails, I'm just using some Pterodon Turquoise contrast paint. Just be careful you don't spill it on the finished green flesh. For the tongue and the inside of the mouth and those scars, I'm going to take some Screamer Pink. I'm then going to wash it with some Coelia green shade, and I'm going to stipple that Screamer Pink back in once it's dry. And to finish off, I'm going to take some Pink Horror and just highlight the tongue and the inside of those scars. The last thing I've got to do on the orc are the teeth. Obviously, I'll paint the base off camera. I'm going to paint the eye off camera as well. But I'm just basting the teeth with a little bit of Zandri dust. And then when that's dry, I'm going to go in with some Screaming Skull. And I'm just going to highlight them. So again, you can go in and try and be as detailed as you want on the teeth. I'm not too fussy. I just want to get a nice sharp pointy edge. And this is the way to do it. So there we have it. This 11th edition Orc is done and ready for the tabletop. I must confess, it is making me want to paint a whole lot more of them, as it normally does when I paint Orcs. So you are now all ready for when 11th edition drops, for getting your Orcs looking absolutely fantastic. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and a comment down below. And if this is a little bit too involved for you, check out this video here, where I show you how to use predominantly contrast paints to paint Orcs nice and quickly. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.